Oh, I didn't see you there. Welcome to the Jump Off. Today we're talking about Euphoria, the HBO show. Anyway, so if you don't know what Euphoria is, it's a show that stars Zendaya that is on HBO. It's a show about high schoolers, but it talks about drugs, addiction, sex, like it covers a lot of topics. I wasn't prepared when I started to watch it, so I kind of got taken on this mental journey that I wasn't ready for, but I needed. So the show does talk about like addiction and depression and mental illness, and those are things that I deal with. I think why the show hit me so hard was because of mental illness and addiction. And y'all know I don't watch, well, if you don't know, I don't really watch TV and movies that much. Now I'm sure there's many other shows that talk about that, but for me this was the first time that I was watching a show and I really connected to the content because of the way that they explored it and they portrayed it. Right. So addiction, you know, is just when you depend on something, and it doesn't have to be drugs. It could be anything. It could be food. It could be a person, working out, and there's a healthy addiction, at least in my opinion, but you could go to the extreme with it. But when you depend on it and you kind of replace it or you attach yourself to it so that it becomes something that you can't do without, but it's affecting your life in a negative way, then I think that's how people mainly attribute addiction to. If that made any sense, because low-key, I don't know if that made any sense to me, but I deal with that, and of course mental illness and depression and things. Watching the show, it started to bring up these old memories of things that I went through that I've suppressed, that I haven't talked about in a while. So then I started to get emotional, and whenever I binge watch a show, because there's only 9 episodes, well 10 because they added a new episode, I get dependent. I felt connected with Rue, who is Zendaya's character, and feeling zoned out but moved into the world of the show. It was a lot, but I appreciate it because things that I thought I had dealt with, I hadn't, I just suppressed them. So it caused me to bring those things up. It was a very emotional journey. But I also realized other things that I battle with and other mental illnesses, and I don't like to call them mental illnesses, but that'll be a episode for another time. But I was able to identify, like, oh, I'm having a high right now. Oh, I'm in a low. Watching the show, I was in a low, but I'm glad and I'm thankful for it. My first question is, if you deal with addiction of any type, how do you manage it? You don't have to say what the addiction is, but what are some things that you use to cope with it or to deter yourself from falling back into that addiction? It could be like talking to a therapist, talking to someone, working out, whatever it is. What are some things that you have found that help you? Because I have not found a way to manage my addiction. But we'll be right back because today's episode is brought to us by the new hit show, The Real Drama and Hip Hop of Hollywood. Here's a clip.
Hollywood.
There is no love.
Just drama.
What the
Supposed to be my main bitch.
Call this Sunshine State.
Florida.
We bringing all the shade.
Amazon, where's my bitch? You want that bitch?
Running around with that quad bitch.
Loud and motherfucking clear.
What you trying to do?
We filming.
That show's gonna be my next binge. But welcome back, y'all. So the show did take me on a mental journey, but it unlocked creatively a new place in me. Visually, how they attacked certain things and how they abstractly portrayed different themes. I feel like as I was watching it, it's like I was in the sunken place, and then it took me even deeper into the sunken place, which was like this whole creative world that I've never tapped into. I create a lot of comedic content. So watching the show, it kind of opened my eyes to make me realize that I want to create some serious content and to talk about deeper stuff. So I started creating a short film and a few TV series that I want to attack just to kind of explain and explore how I see the world, which is kind of different than what I've seen on TV what TV I've watched. I felt like I tapped into the creative vein that I've been searching for, and it's been so freeing. I feel like wherever I go or whatever I'm doing, I'm like, oh, I could create something from that. Which, if you would have asked me 2 years ago to create something, I probably would have been like, give me a few days and get back to me. But now somebody could cough the wrong way and I'd be like, oh, you know what? I thought of something. Okay, this could be this and this. And some of the stuff is comedic, but I think it's really cool that a show caused me to tap into a whole other realm of thinking and exploring. So my other question is, what are some things that have helped you all tap into your creativity? Whether it be a TV show, movie, a book, a museum, a piece of art. Like, what are some things that have helped you all get creative? Of course, make sure you like, subscribe, follow, do all that stuff, comment below, and let's keep the conversation going. And if you haven't seen Euphoria, watch it. Brace yourself, but make sure you watch it because it is really good. It's great acting, it's great content, it's a great show. So I'll see y'all back next week on The Jump Off.